Welcome back to the Love Lizzy podcast. This is another solo cast. First of all, thank you to everyone who has purchased from our shop. I cannot believe the support that you have given us, and I am just so grateful that you are here building with us from the ground up, and I will never be able to express in words what your purchases mean to us and the team. So thank you so much for believing in our work. The launch of our shop has led me to want to talk a little bit more about the origin story of Love Lizzy. I shared some of it in the merchandise trailer, and mostly I want to talk about it because there's much more to the story that I think shapes what Love Lizzy can be, and I want to be as articulate as I can be in this moment. Even though I know we're constantly changing every day, but we're doing our best to anchor in what we're here to do. Lots has been going on since we last connected. You heard from Danielle some really concrete ways that you can honor yourself, build internal boundaries, and find the levity in things. For those in the miscarriage club, oof, I see you. Danielle sees you, and we are with you. I have been in several conversations with women lately about fertility. I'm so grateful for Danielle's honesty about her experience and all of the incredible tools she shared with us to truly learn how to love ourselves and treat ourselves kindly, especially when we are facing hard things. Many of you have remarked how that episode was meaningful for you, and we love hearing that. So thank you for letting us know. Since I started my magical spell experiment, I've been shocked by how much energy I'm able to find in a single day. I still have flare-ups, so I don't want to confuse anyone. Just because I have more energy doesn't mean there aren't still symptoms. We will talk a little bit more about this in an upcoming episode with Dr. Aaron, who is a somatic specialist who approaches illness from a much deeper place than our medical system and offers really incredible tools for those of us in the chronic illness club. But even while navigating my symptoms, a lot happened. I traveled for the Easter holiday and did a road trip with Billy, which was really rewarding. We brought on a new helper, Dre, at the farm to keep our plants very happy. I went to New York for a work trip, and the team was still able to launch an amazing podcast episode, move forward on our merch shop, and I was able to be really present with a client. I also rearranged the furniture at the farm to start prepping for the upcoming event season and thinking through how the Love Lizzy farm can be a true sacred space for women who need it. I'm ideating, creating, leading, changing, and growing over here. The magic spell is working mostly when I start to feel down, tired, or overwhelmed, and I just pause and say to myself, I am happy, I am strong, I have all the energy I need. It has led to 3 more short running sessions on the beach with Billy, more moments in nature, and slowing down between the hustle and bustle of running a business and helping my clients. Like Danielle said in our last episode, stopping in the mirror when you catch your reflection to say something kind to yourself will go a long way. So this week, I want to talk about how we got to this moment where I'm speaking to you on this podcast about building a safer world for women and girls. When I was 19, I experienced something really difficult, and I found myself alone and scared in a hospital by myself in a strange city. I had my mom via phone to help me, but I really needed a companion sitting with me in the ER, going with me into the examination room, helping me hear what the doctor was saying and taking notes, helping guide my decisions because I made some big choices in those rooms and they affected my future. There was this really powerful moment where I was standing in the hallway between the examination room and the ER, waiting at the end of my visit with the police and the doctor, and I was freezing cold, so cold. I was watching the ER doctor eat a sandwich and watch ESPN instead of writing my prescription so I could leave, and a strange man walked by. I was wearing a Muncie and a volleyball t-shirt because I had grown up playing volleyball in our local league in Muncie, Indiana, and I had obviously brought this shirt on the trip with me. He paused and said, I don't mean to cross a line, but I read your file when you came in, and I just wanted to tell you how sorry I am for what happened to you, and I know you are far from home, and this is a much bigger place than where you're from, but you are not alone. I couldn't believe that little t-shirt I was wearing was the catalyst for this conversation that I really needed at that moment. That conversation never would have happened if I had been wearing a different shirt. And between feeling really cold, having no companion to help me, I vowed to grow up and one day create a better experience for women when they are going through something hard, which the statistics prove is basically every day, all the time, all over the world. The first idea I had was just to have this like cozy, well-made sweatsuit that we could give to women when they show up at the hospital. One, because I have spent a lot of my life in hospitals as a patient and as a caretaker, and those places are freezing. It is also really hard in a crisis to think clearly about what clothes to grab or what you need. So what if we just started equipping women with a soft, warm, cozy outfit they could put on when they needed to feel loved and safe? And the Love Lizzy shop was born. The second idea was, what if we had a troop of volunteers who were all trained as loving companions for women who were facing hardship? We would have a hotline she could call and a volunteer would answer, and the volunteer would be there to listen to the woman, help her think through her next steps, and potentially even offer her a solution. Whether we connect her to a resource in her community, offer her a fast grant to get something that she needs right now, or send a Love Lizzy companion to where she actually is, we could be her point of contact when she is feeling alone and scared. And what if that companion that we sent to be with her by her side was not only carrying the coziest, most soft sweatshirt a girl could imagine, but she was also wearing an outfit that signaled to that woman that she was the Lizzy that was there to help her. Now, this is a big idea. When my mind tries to wrap around it, I get nervous. There is a lot of capital needed for this hotline. There is a lot of compliance and legal and training that is needed for this work. This is the place where ideas literally go to die. We can all talk ourselves out of our best ideas, and sometimes we even realize that our best ideas aren't feasible. So I felt like we had to start somewhere. The Love Lizzy hotline is the big, scary vision, and our team is still figuring out the plan of how we get there. But in the meantime, we launched this merchandise to start sharing the message with the world that if you're wearing a Love Lizzy item, you are signaling to the world that you are a loving, kind human. And our hope is that with the loving vibration that we're pouring into every piece of merchandise, I am currently the Love Lizzy shipping manager who is personally boxing and shipping all merchandise, that it will extend to everyone you meet while wearing the sweatshirt and even open up a serendipitous opportunity for you to help someone. The last pillar of the Love Lizzy movement is spaces. Spaces to feel deeply, spaces to share vulnerably, spaces to get support and guidance, spaces to be yourself, spaces to create and connect and be seen and heard. My big idea is that we have Love Lizzy sacred houses all over the country. These houses are feminine, cozy, stocked with the necessities, and managed by our Love Lizzy network. When a woman needs a soft space to land, think after she leaves a shelter and needs to find a place for her family, or right after an emergency situation, she needs to pause and rebuild, or just because life happened and she needs a sacred place to lay her head. She comes to the Love Lizzy house. Other Lizzies are there that are in a different place in the journey. Maybe they're traveling for work and are paying a small rental fee that covers the stay of another woman. Maybe they are our traveling nurses who want housing that offers them community and more than just a cold, lonely apartment. Our farm is sort of beta test of this. We're looking at how we can turn this farm into a potential first Love Lizzy house in the next 2 years. If we can move faster, we certainly will. It is important for me to talk about the premise of why we chose to help women and girls and why we've specified that instead of going much broader. I think the short answer is we can only do so much. And so we just focused ourselves on something that we knew well. I have lived a lot of the stories that the women have lived. I've been in the rooms that a lot of these other women have been in where bad things have happened and it has been difficult. I have lived life as a woman. And so for me, I feel most prepared to support women. I will also say that people ask me why I help women and not men. I find that question limiting. It suggests a premise that helping women doesn't help men. And I have to say that helping women helps men immensely. You can just look around your community and ask yourself if a healthy, strong woman is good for men, because the truth is a healthy and strong woman is good for everyone. I could go on and on about how women take care of the homes, they take care of our nourishment, they take care of our psychology. The short answer is helping women helps men, and so therefore we're helping everyone. We only have so many resources right now. We really don't have very many. The level of resources is my bank account. And so the type of services that we are currently providing are my time, my direct assistance, which is as a coach and a facilitator in the community. That is where I'm spending my time capital, building the database of these women that feel like Love Lizzy calls to them in some way, who are saying that they want to help, sharing stories of strength and resilience, educating women on how to get the love and care they need, even if it's just from themselves, and helping my team build our next chapter. So we are showing up and facilitating really meaningful conversations with women and having the conversations that it doesn't feel safe to have in public. We are cultivating a private space because women need a space to go. They need a place where they can go where the threats have been diminished. It hurts me to articulate that one of the greatest threats to women is men. When anyone says women don't want to help the men, it's a little bit misguided because the men seem sometimes to not want to help us. And when they lose control of themselves with their temper, with their behavior, they harm a woman. They're not being very helpful. Because then we have to go help that woman heal from the man's transgression. So I would just like to ask any man that's listening to this in the universe, across time and space, please stop hurting women. Please stop degrading them. Please stop being rude. Please stop using language that is defensive and argumentative. Like, we are just literally trying to live our lives and love our people. And it would be great if you could just keep your hands off of us. What you can do instead is you can facilitate support. You can hear what the woman in your life is going through, identify a resource, execute getting that resource, and provide it to her without asking her to get involved. It looks like stop legislating our bodies. Stop joining the assault clubs where you learn to harm us. It looks like holding your friends accountable when they do horrible things. It looks like standing up for our rights so we don't have to. It also looks like honoring our realities, realizing that women and children's lives are now the consequences of your decisions, your vote, your choices. So make better choices. That is what helping women looks like. Okay? So let us help the women so we can continue to help you, because we help you all the time. And to call women unhelpful or man-hating is so outrageous when you made us feel the fear and anger we feel in the first place. We would not feel anger and we would not have to defend ourselves against you because you are treating us like an enemy. So let's start there. Okay? That's the work. This is the current thesis I am studying. How do we get men and women to work together? Because this narrative people are spitting that is like women aren't pro-family and they hate men is a joke. The women are taking care of all the family. All the women do is take care of the family. I protect the family is not a freaking light metaphor. The matriarchs, they should be treated as such. The effectiveness of their operating skills, the targets that they hit on a daily basis, the precision, the focus, the follow through, the accountability, the total ownership of the task without complaining, eating scraps from the table she set for you to eat your dinner. It is so obvious the contribution that women make in the world. I would love to be a mother. There is nothing in me that wants to deny me of that dream. So when you go around and say that feminists hate family and hate men and are anti-family and want no one to have children, like, who are you talking about? Because we want to have family and we want to be able to have family on our terms. Sometimes having a family is not necessarily becoming a mother. We want to resource our family. We want to be able to provide for our family. When the climate of the society that you built precludes us from having access to the resources, the healthcare, the money that we need to provide for our family, the love and care that you think we hate so much, what do you want us to do? People are working multiple jobs to pay the bills. People can't afford basic health care, and you want to talk about bootstraps? Stop pitting us against one another and you'll get the votes that you want. Create harmony, create collaboration, create an ecosystem that functions at the highest caliber with the most efficiency, with the greatest outcome for all. It's not a hard guess at what you need to do. So I understand there is a lot of fear right now. I'm ready to build villages for women and children all over the world, and we are behind schedule. Even at our little farm since we acquired it, we have had 3 hurricanes and a major surgery. This 3-year time span has felt like a decade, yet things are starting to grow like crazy. And the space is so cozy and wonderful. Our team is working so hard part-time as they continue to carry their other responsibilities. And I think my perfectionist that I've been sharing with you these last few episodes, she's wanted to present you the most beautiful version of her dream. And I think she may have died trying. What's real and true is that I need to share this dream with you as it is right now and just be like, this is where we are. at the bottom of the mountain. We have a farm where I currently live and am stewarding. We host events here for women because physical sacred space is a necessity. We have a network for women all over the world who are on the ground in their communities doing the work to make them strong. They have wisdom, they have experience, they have hearts of gold. We have a team of women who are architecting our next chapter right now. More events, more scholarships for women, the big dream of the hotline. We are in motion. But most people never see the build. They only see the name on the billboard. Building is messy, full of mistakes, lonely, and confusing. But it is also creative, collaborative, joyful, and inspiring. We have so much we want to do. But here are my right now hopes for you as we continue to build in the background. I hope you enjoy your time with me. I hope you have a revelation. I hope you become more creative. I hope you feel like you have your energy again. I hope you feel loved. I hope you feel seen and cherished. Right now, what I can offer you is my hope and intention of providing a space for you to feel loved and seen and held. I want our time together to leave you feeling like you deserve to feel good in your body. You deserve to feel good in your heart. You deserve to feel good in your mind. You are in control of your thoughts. You are the director of your life. These promises to the self are a daily practice. They are something that you can do every day, like morning prayer. A lot of us want to think that change is about the macro, big movement, but it is about the things we do on the daily basis. When you make a big change and you land in a new place, there are still parts of you who are stuck where you were before you made the change. So once you're there and you have arrived at the change, there is still the internal work to do to catch up. You did. You made a big 3D decision, right? A real world decision. You did an action, but the internal structure didn't change. You don't have the reps yet that would prepare you for that giant leap or the major change. So even though you changed your circumstance, it's actually you who is changing. You are the one that is becoming who you truly are meant to be. And that external evidence is just evidence that the internal work is working. And this can be a really daunting place, and it can be lonely. We know humans are wired for connection. We know that we need each other, but the truth gets lost when we start treating anyone as an other, when we justify demonizing other people and harming them, when we act as if a human, a fellow human, that their life is not valuable. But instead of asking, how did we get here? We are asking, where do we go now? That's why Love Lizzy creates the space for women to find their way back to themselves. We provide her a place to land, the farm, our newsletter, a community to call on, coming this year, the Turn Your Light On community, and the resources to build a life she loves, education, inspiration, scholarships, access to a strong network. Right now, I sit on a farm where I'm growing a multitude of things, but I don't know a lot about them, yet I'm learning about it each day. Right now, we are mapping how we're going to distribute the food properly. Do we become a farm where people buy lower cost food like a farmer's market? Do we have our own market here? Do we have a community garden with community days? I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. The philosophy is this. I have an abundance of something. Maybe you have an abundance of something. And what can we do if we put all of our abundance of something into a pile and people take what they don't have an abundance of? You know, it's like the soup book that my client Lydia, who owns Wanderwood Studios, was talking about. If you pulled all the houses in the community and told them to bring one ingredient from their house, you could put all those ingredients together and make soup for the whole neighborhood. That's the vibe. We are sitting in between two really interesting episodes. Like I said earlier, Danielle spent time really helping us with self-regulation. How do I build a strong and resilient relationship with my own self where I feel the proper internal boundaries to feel the way I want to feel? And that helps me identify my external boundaries, and that helps me relate to others in the way I want to relate. Amazing. If you missed it, head back and check it out. In our next episode, we're going to meet up with Ashley Chang, who's going to talk to us about community regulation, a kind of co-regulation, how to ask for help, and what kind of help we should be asking for. One of the things I've been learning about being a woman, at least for me, is that I do need a lot of help. I don't exactly know how to ask, and I don't actually know what others want to help me with, and that can keep me frozen trying to do everything myself. I've had several founders come through my incubator that are trying to solve this problem. And Ashley is not using technology the way the other founders were looking to use it. She's deploying beautiful humans and these amazing women that are really in a time of their life when they need a flexible work culture. They are caretakers of children or aging parents, but they need to bring in money for their family, and their income matters a great deal to the family. And these women, they're phenomenal. They are phenomenal helpers, and they are so smart and so creative. And it's really fun to realize that if you set up a system for help correctly, everybody kind of knows what to do and everything gets done. So far on these solo casts, we've talked about our internal parts that can kind of hold us hostage and drive our behavior. We have talked about how the content, the news, the messaging we take in externally can absolutely shape our internal world, and how to choose what you want to engage with. We are now talking about a daily practice of self-love and the necessity to ask for help. I guess at the end of the day, I created Love Lizzy because of how hard it was for me to ask for help from anyone. I wanted to make it easier, make it very straightforward how a woman could get help to find her way back to herself. That is our mountain. We are climbing it right now. Remember, your light deserves to shine brightly. Your sensitivity is a superpower. You are a wonderful human. I am healthy, I am strong, and I have all the energy I need. See you next time. This podcast is produced by Love Lizzy. Our editor is Kayla Hill, and the music is by my very own sister, Julia Sabatine. If you like what you heard here, we would love for you to hit the subscribe button. See you next time.